everyone! I'm back with Sharon.
Hello.
So a lot of you will have heard me speaking about Sharon a lot. I go, yeah, there I go, talking about Sharon again. Name dropping. So we are celebrating and Sharon is here with me. You can tell everyone in a minute what you do, because a lot of people probably don't know what Sharon does, because I've dropped things in to conversation about Sharon being an artist, but we'll talk in a minute about what you do because it's interesting. We usually do these live from the pottery. Sharon has an amazing pottery, but the Wi-Fi isn't great there, so we thought we'd just crash out on my living room floor instead.
It's much more cool, just like this. What's better? Just crash.
Yes, how are you all doing? So yes, hello Wendy, Linda. No sound. I think other people can hear us. By the sounds of it, tell us if you can hear us. You should be able to hear us. Yeah, you can hear me. Yeah, if whoever hasn't got sound, they're not going to be able to hear me say this. But if someone could type in, or I can type in, turn the volume up.
Turn the volume up.
Yeah, it's usually because you've got your volume off. So yes, we usually do this from the pottery, but the Wi-Fi isn't quite there, so we just sat on my living room floor doing the party this time. And we're going to just do some drawing. I've got my sketchbook, and we're just going to sit and draw, and you can post pictures afterwards of what you've made in the comments. So after this live video is finished, you can go back in and add pictures of whatever you've created this evening. Would love to see them. And what a journey we've been on. I'm absolutely exhausted.
I've been really liking your posts though.
I've been showing up, haven't I?
It's brilliant.
I've been live every day for 3 weeks now, twice a day. And everyone's sick of seeing me.
How can you be sick? You can't be sick of seeing you.
I'm surprised I've still got a voice.
This beam of light that just comes up on our computers every day. Hi, Sharon Wood here. I was going to talk to you about, house beats, because I'm fabulous. That's why we're here.
I love it. So I wanted us all to get together and just celebrate that and celebrate. I was just saying to Sharon, I've come up with this new phrase now. You'll see the United Art Space logo is "You matter, art matters, your art matters." And I came up with that a few months ago, and it just sums up everything that I believe in and what we've always talked about over the years about how, we as individuals matter, and the way we feel matters, and the way we show up to ourselves matters, doesn't it? And our art, it really does matter. And so art matters in the world, and that's something we've learned over the last couple of weeks, is art is so important. And the pandemic, when that happened, what did everyone turn to? Art. And it was, there was this big rise in the arts because it is so needed, isn't it? To be able to feel and express all the craziness that's gone on in the world recently.
What better way to explore your own mind and your own feelings than through a drawing or a piece of poetry or a sketch or a doodle or a walk up the woods, or being inspired by anything that is creatively being outlet, in whatever medium that you use. It's the perfect thing to do. There's no other thing that you can do. It's so important. Art, being in the arts, in the creative industry, in the arts, we say that as it's like this unreachable thing, but actually it isn't. It's not an unreachable. We are in creative mode, and everyone can, and it's just acknowledging that can be for everybody.
Yes, it can. It really can. And Sharon and I, so Sharon was my art tutor years ago. That's how we met. And then we had babies at the same time, so our paths crossed because of that reason. And
we had awesome babies.
Yeah, awesome. They're amazing. They're not babies anymore. And so And we sat down, and we've always been on this artistic, journey and finding our place and running studios and potteries and things like that. And we sat down, I don't know how many years ago, because we don't do time, do we? It was a few years ago.
Memory or time.
we don't do numbers either. Don't ask us any sums.
Oh yeah, don't ask for anything like that.
We don't do maths. But no, we sat down a few years ago, and I spoke to Sharon about the vision of United Art Space and setting up a virtual art studio, and would she come in as a partner with me? And she was like, yeah. And then when she realised what my ambition was to take over the world and bring artists together, and then she said,
"Stop a minute." That's I'm reminding myself to stop. Carry on.
And then it was a few months in, she said, do you know what, Michelle? I think I want to be a full-time artist. And this is not going to fit. It's too much time. And I can see that. And I was like, well, yeah, I want to take the world on.
This is Michelle's version of the story. This is my version of the story and how I heard it. Knock on the door to the pottery. Hi, Sharon. I've got this really good idea. I was wondering, because I was wondering if you'd like to go online. We could teach things online. We could help artists all over the world online. I was like, what? No, that's far too scary for me. I like my own little pottery. I like my own little comforts. I'm in Telford. I always lived in Telford. Far too scary. And so Michelle just said, oh no, I'm thinking global. That's what she said. No. Oh no, I'm thinking global.
I've always wanted to bring, this idea of bringing people from around the world together.
And you said it,
always.
I think
a passion.
You explained it like the initially it was the just wanting to share art practice, good art practice, like really good art practice that you can only access from a good college or a good school or a good tutor. Which is you have to turn up. You can't have dependents. You can't be working. You can't have a job. You have to have that free time. And it has to only be for 2 hours during the daytime. And I was like, oh, do you know what? I'm in. That is so needed right now. And that was only 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. My life.
Yeah.
And 3 years ago.
Well.
And then it went on and on. Let's just skip a few months. And then it dawned on me that actually Michelle is a superpower. She is superwoman in unlike anybody that I've known. And she was going to reach heights that I was not going to be on the journey with because I'm more practical. And it was really hard actually to say, Michelle, I can't be a director. I can't be in it with you.
But I think that was a good decision for you to. But yeah, and you realise at that moment, and this is why people have said to me, where's your artwork? And I've explained, it's impossible for me to be an artist and do United Art Space at the same time. And that's what you recognised, didn't you, in that moment? It was like we either go into United Art Space because it's a full-on thing, and you realise that
maybe that's that one thing. You have to be good at one thing.
Focus on one thing.
On one.
Yeah. The more you rein it in. So anyway, but the reason I'm sharing this story, we digress, is because a few years ago, Sharon and I sat down, and we're not where we are today. 3 years ago, we sat down with, not much really, and no real plan, didn't really have much coming in, didn't really know where we were going. We tried lots of things before, and I'd set up a studio, and you've got things going on, and there's opportunities here, opportunities there, and we kept crossing paths, didn't we? Going, oh, what's this one? And let's do this exhibition over here, and then
trying out lots and lots and lots of avenues.
We did try a lot of different things,
But the underlying voice kept coming up, didn't it? We wanted to help people. You wanted to help people. People are very important. People are really important in my life.
Yeah.
Really important. I make figures. I make people. People are really important to us both. And I think that's maybe where the link is.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we sat down, and then I know Sharon doesn't consciously work through the 7 keys, but you do work through them, but without realising.
If I get stuck,
you do think,
right, I'm going wrong here somewhere. I can't do it by myself. Michelle, superpower woman who knows everything, guru on a blooming brilliant anything to do with business, computer, and arts. Can I just pick your brain, please, for free for a minute? Thanks. That's what happens.
But we sat down and then we created a vision for ourselves, and we sat and dreamt up, like Sharon said, I want to be, an artist, and I want to earn this, and I want to make it my full-time living. And I sat down and said, well, I want to run United Art Space, and I want to bring people together, and I want to, have a community where they're learning how to make a living. And we sat down and we spoke about all of this, didn't we? And we planned it out. And we are both now living that plan that we set out 3 years ago. And it's no coincidence that we're both doing it. Because I really do believe we create our own success. We really, really do. And by sitting down and creating that plan, and we've worked through the 7 keys over the time, and that's how I created United Art Space, is working on through the 7 keys. It can be applied to anything. And that's how we've got here to where we are today. And Sharon is doing amazing. So just tell people what kind of artist you are.
I make figurative art out of clay. So I make a life-size bust from shoulders to head. I'm mostly interested in expression and feeling, and trying to capture that bit that you can't quite get to in using words or a picture, but that feeling that's inside everybody. I want to realise that in a 3-dimensional form, kind of like a dream-like figure or face or body that expresses how I'm feeling, or how our humanity feels. I draw inspiration from Greek mythology and folklore. I love feminist, taking folklore and then tinning on its head. We live in Shropshire, so I walk my dog up the woods a lot, and I see regularly deer and like badgers and foxes and all of that sort of things. Those lovely, yummy sort of fairy tale folklore, but quite macabre. So it's slightly dark, but kind of hopefully, I don't know, I want to make connections with people using figures and faces and using clay. So that's where I'm at the moment. Who knows where I'll be in 3 years' time or 4 years' time, but I'm enjoying the journey, and it's all a process.
It is. And, compared to where you were 3 years ago,
I was painting, I was drawing,
all sorts of things.
I was teaching pottery. I was subsidising my income through government handouts a little bit, and now I don't have anything.
Your work was a bit all over the place, wasn't it? You were doing painting trees and painting people,
painting and everything,
boats, and
just painting everything, everything.
And so everyone, there's so many people I know tuning in who feel like that. Like, I love doing lots and lots of things.
Yes, love doing lots of things.
And Sharon did as well. And it hasn't, if anything, well, it has brought you so much more success, hasn't it, by refining things down.
Doesn't mean that I can't do it. It just means that
you're still always busy doing stuff, other things, welding and wax courses. Well, I'm going to sit and just draw.
Yeah, do some drawing. There was, do you know, I love doing these. I love sitting down with you, because I don't see you very often. We've got children with us, and it's also
That's
really good.
Missing, the kids. I knew there was something different about us being in this moment.
But we've also, it's our opportunity to just catch up and just check in on each other and where we've come from, and find out what we're going to go to. So I don't think this journey is an end. I always used to be fearful of like that art. Oh, it's unreachable. I'm never going to be an artist. I can't do it because I'm not good enough, or that negativity committee would just always tell me different stories. Or those parts of me would try and like steer me off the path because of fear or anxiety, or not being able to manage my time well, or prioritize or focus on one thing.
Because we've both got ADHD.
We've both got ADHD. It's really hard. It is really
hard.
Imagine
the conversations we have.
It's like that.
Go on for hours.
So getting back to that timeline, or getting back to here is really good, because it kind of makes me acknowledge where I've been and what I'm at now. And I don't think I'm any different as a person as I was then. But now I'm just a bit more confident, and I'm okay about talking about it, and I hold my own. I feel like I'm confident enough in my work because I've done it now for 3 years.
Yeah.
I can look back at my work 3 years ago and I think it's absolutely terrible. But I can understand that it had to do it to get to this point. And
I'm glad you raised that, because people were asking today about skill level and whether you have to wait till you're at a certain skill level before you get going.
No.
But like you would have, you know, like you say, looking back now, there's things that we probably wouldn't spot because we're seeing it through different eyes. But you didn't feel like, looking back now, like, oh gosh, it's so rubbish.
I thought I was a fraud. I didn't know the anatomy very well. I didn't know, you know, where the structure of the bones were so much. I was very hands-on. I think I was quite competent at building structures out of clay. So I knew my material well, but I didn't know the subject matter well. So I think it's, so now in where we are now, I'm looking forward to finding out where I'm going to be in another 3 years' time.
I know.
You know,
because things are moving quite
changes.
fast. They've moved quite fast in the last year, haven't they?
Yeah. Yeah,
and this is the
last
thing.
year was my biggest year.
This is the thing to remember as well. Sometimes this can be a long journey, and it feels at the beginning like you're not making progress. But the 7 keys are foundational, and you don't realise when you lay those foundations how, when you do start to speed up, you know, things can just grow really quickly, like they did. Well, they've done for both of us. It's almost like you get to a certain point where you really do start to connect with your who and the opportunities, and then things can just move much faster.
And that's quite a scary thing.
Yeah, it can be really scary.
If you're not ready, you're like, whoa, I don't know how to speak in front of an audience. I don't really know how to change my voice.
Like the opportunities that came up for Sharon, and then she was like, oh my gosh, I've got to mix with these people now. You'll always have the new level, new devil. Every time you grow, there'll be something that makes you fearful and makes you scared. But remember that you are in control. You know, you don't have to grow that quickly. Things can happen, but you are always in control, and you can say, you know, I'm capping my work at this amount, or, you know, remember that I am in control. And, you know,
that's a good lesson.
It is.
I always get asked for commissions lately. So since lockdown, I've been making these little figures online and just selling them online, so they're not through a gallery. And then a couple of the galleries said, "Oh, can we have some?" So I've made some for the galleries. But because I've been selling them through Instagram, and you know, they're just little pieces, so they're not my main voice, if you like. They're still made out of clay, but they're little miniature versions, and they're just a bit of fun, just to keep like the money coming in, because the shows are being cancelled. Quite a lot of the ceramics shows are being cancelled. So I forgot where I was going with this. Where was I going?
Sorry, I was drawing.
It was about
making some little pieces,
and then there was a point to it. God, it's gone.
It'll come back.
It will. Sorry,
no, it's all right. This happens when we get together. We go off on tangents.
There's those little pieces.
It's lovely to see you all here. There's lots of people that probably just found us, you know, in the last few weeks through the workshops. But then I see there's a lot of people hopping on. We've been doing these live videos now for years. We were one of the first people to go live on Facebook. We used to go live on Periscope before Facebook even had a live feature. And so we've been going live now for years. And so there's people, I can see people hopping on now that have been with us on this journey for about 3 years now. And it's been nice to share that journey, because some of the people watching now have seen us, you know, back in the day when it wasn't what we've got now, and watched us grow into everything that we're doing now with United Art Space and with Sharon's art business. So, you know, it's really amazing. And I love us because we just love sharing and giving back, don't we? We always say how that's something that we just love doing.
It's not. I think when you hear it on a screen, can I tell a story? I'm really terrible. I'll try and keep to the point. The other day, I was invited to go on to a Zoom meeting to learn about Instagram, or to have some like little tips about Instagram and how to use it for business. So I went on, and it was really boring and very dull, and I switched off just like that. The person who was giving the meeting or giving the talk didn't really know a lot, and there's nothing really visual for me, so it didn't really work for me as an artist. I wasn't really very interested, and the voice of the person was quite low key and like almost, it just wasn't creative or exciting enough for me to listen. And I think the thing is that I'm proud of you, Michelle.
Oh,
this is a big up, Michelle, because A, you know what you're doing. B, you really know it. You really know your stuff. You've seen it work. You've had a lot of people, a lot of your artists now really making it big time in art because of what you teach.
Oh,
and this is the point. It's genuine, and there's a lot of people who aren't. There's a lot of people who try and share their knowledge and experience of art and business, and because they are two separate things, but even though they're intertwined, you have to really know your business and you have to really know your art, for them to gel really well. And if you've just got a business person that's talking about business, it's not going to make any sense to an artist. And I think that's where you come along and you just go, right, this is how you do it, and you just kill it. And you nail it.
Yeah,
and it's
the artist side of me and the business side,
it's
which
genuine.
is a weird mix. Yeah,
it's genuine.
Aww.
And I think maybe that's why I was a teacher for 17 years, and I wouldn't be a teacher for 17 years if I didn't really like people or really want to share. I've stopped that now because I think my sharing experience is just on full. So it's my time now to like be a little bit more attentive about my needs.
So
which was quite nice.
It's so good.
That's my little story. I'm quite impressed with that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nailed the story in one without being boring.
You're never boring. Far from boring.
Oh, yeah.
But no, let's raise a glass now. Everyone,
Cheers.
tell us in the comments what your favourite drink is and what you're raising a glass to now, because let's raise a glass to the arts, because that's what's brought us all together. The fact that we all love art, and we're in this community, in this party now, all around the world. Cheers. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers. Ding.
So many people from around the world tuning in. We're all together celebrating this and what we've learned over the last 2 weeks, and sharing this framework and knowing that it is possible. And yeah, and art is just incredible.
It's to business, to genuine. It's being genuine, authentic, and making art the thing that you love, to turn it into your life and be part of your life.
And do what you love for a living, because it is possible. It is possible.
Absolutely is. Cheers.
Cheers
Health
to that.
and happiness and growth and that.
Definitely.
It's Sunday as well.
And it's Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to check some of the comments now. I saw Gareth asking me how I came up with the 7 keys. I won't talk too long about it because I'll talk for hours. But basically, well, I studied business for years and got kind of halfway through the degree and then got bored and quit. But I learned enough to, understand it. And then went to the other side, the art side, after I found out about having dyslexia and ADHD, and then worked in the creative industries from my mid-20s in a design team. And then I decided that I wanted to study art, so I took some time out of my job and returned to uni as a mature student. And then when I graduated, I had no idea how to sell my art, and I just had no idea what to do with it, and I felt lost. And I left art school thinking, I just felt like I'd just been dumped and I didn't know where to go, what to do. And it was weird, because even though I'd studied business and art, I still never put the two together for a long time. And then suddenly it dawned on me that, yeah, the art business does help arts. And then what happened from there was I set up studios and ran art studios and things like that. But it wasn't until I set up the virtual art studio, and I did that because I had babies and I couldn't run a physical studio anymore. And I ran the virtual art studio, and then that's when I kept seeing artist after artist saying, I don't know where to put my work, I don't know what to do with it. But I could see where they were going wrong. And so that, I remember saying to you, didn't I? I was like, I can keep seeing these patterns inside the virtual art studio, and I know that I can help them. So my idea was to create the hub, because I didn't feel like the expert at that point. I thought, I can't teach them. So what I'll do is create a hub, and I'll bring guests in to teach them, all these things. And when I kept looking around for who could I bring in, I just kept thinking, but if they learn that, they'll be missing this. And that's when I started to realize that I knew more than I thought I did. I felt like I didn't know anything. And then when I started to look into it, I didn't like what people were saying necessarily. I felt like there were gaps, and I couldn't find anything that taught artists the way I could see it in my head. So that's when I started to think, and I said, I'm just going to start writing something. And I got Post-it notes everywhere, and I kept talking to Sharon about it and about,
Post-it notes.
And
I remember.
Yeah, they were. It wasn't the 7 keys to begin with. It was like the 5 keys, and then it took me a long time. It took me 10 months to come up with that framework. But also, it is a business plan, and I've written lots of business plans in my time. And so then, what I realized, what I was doing without realizing it was becoming a business plan, but in artist speak. And so I've done lots of business plans, and they will take you through the same questions that I'm asking, but they'll just do it in a very cold way, and it's just on a form, and you can't really delve into the answers. So yeah, the way I've created the 7 keys is it is like a business plan, yet it comes with the questions to ask yourself on a deeper level so that you can write it properly. And so, yeah, that's where it came from. And it took me about 10 months to a year to create it. And I had no idea if it would help anyone. I just poured it out, and there it is still. Well, it's growing, and yeah.
And it really works.
People.
It's quite a strange kind of concept coming from an artist. So I'm an artist, and it's not strange. But what you've done is you've captured all of those key points that I do in my art business, and you've put it down as lessons. But initially when I first started out, I was a teacher, I was an art design lecturer, and so I knew about people, but I had no idea what the art world was going to be like. I knew about art, I knew about the theory behind it, but I didn't know what it was going to be a practitioner of art, as an artist, in my own right, with my own voice, and then have to make a business from it. As crazy. So what you've done is you've captured all of those things, those points that you have to do. You have to do the things, else you're just not going to get anywhere. It won't work if you don't do the bits. And what you've done is all of the things that I've done, but in this is what you do, like little bite-sized chunks. If I can imagine, my son was studying GCSEs last year, and for his revision, he had to do one bit at a time for it to be in. And what you've done is you've done that with your course, with your hub, with anything that you do. You treat it as a business, but I understand it. I understand what you've done.
It's because of my dyslexic brain. I don't know.
I think it just speaks to me because it makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah. It's real. I trust you. Yeah. I know that you're genuine, and whatever you've done, I've done, and it's worked for me. It's like I'm the proof.
Yeah,
which is really weird.
You are my muse. Sharon is my muse. So everything that I create, Sharon. I create things for Sharon, and base Sharon is like my.
What does Sharon need right now? I know. I'll just write this up for her. Oh my God, Michelle, that was exactly what I was looking for. It just works. It just works. Maybe that we all need each other as well. That's the whole point, isn't it?
We do. That's why I've got my t-shirt on. Better together, because we are better together, and that's something you taught me as well. That doing it alone, you've got where you are, and I've got where I am because of the opportunities and the people that we've met along the way. Definitely, when you start to meet people and they recommend you, or they put you in touch with someone, or they, all the people that have represented you by meeting them, and they've changed your whole art career, haven't they? So
it's that, and in a practical way, so in my head, it's all like a bit dreamy. It's unreachable because I can't put it into a practical, pin it down. What specifically do I have to do to get into that gallery that I really like? What is it that I actually need? It's mindset, it's confidence, it's gaining confidence. You can't just get it, you have to gain it. That's why it's the term gain confidence. It's the understanding that you have to have your biography, what to put in your biography, what to put in your statements, short statements for different galleries. If you're in galleries, if that's where you want to go, you need it on your web, what to put on your website, how to put it on website, how to use social media. It's all of those specific practical things that aren't in my dreamlike artist head that I need to know.
It's exciting.
It is.
I'm excited for you all. And one thing I think, when you start to learn all this stuff as well, it's implementing it and carrying it on. And that's why, inside the hub, we're going to keep the momentum going, because it is important. And that's why we get on so well, because we keep the momentum going. We chat a lot, and it's really important to keep doing that. Keep focused on what you want and your goals. And we talk about this a lot. We talk about why we're doing this.
It's about
when
why.
you start to fall off the wagon and you start to not believe it, we get together and we talk about, why is this important and why am I doing this? And it lifts you back up again. And it is a long journey, the long game. That's what you call it. We're in the long game.
I'm in it for keeps.
But
I absolutely am.
It is important to just keep going and knowing that you'll have the bad days and you'll have the knockbacks, and that's normal, and you'll feel that, oh gosh, it's just, why am I doing this? But when you keep getting through it, there's no better feeling than when you actually do something you love for a living, and we pinch ourselves. Another thing as well is gratitude. We do spend a lot of time really looking at the progress that we've made. And
this is something. We're not lucky.
No,
we are grateful because we worked hard for something that we really want and we really believe in.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's about being grateful. It's not about luck. Actually, Suki White, I'm going to just thank you for that, because you said that to me. If you watch it,
it's not about luck.
It's not about luck. It's about putting the work in the right steps, and believing in yourself,
and being kind to yourself as well, and recognizing those steps. Yeah, because sometimes as people, we are so hard on ourselves. And actually, the more you celebrate the little wins and the progress that you're making, and being, really grateful for the journey. And before we even hit our goals, we were grateful. We used to practice that, didn't we? Even though, times were hard financially, but we kept going and kept thinking, but it's worth it because we're doing something we love. And it's amazing. I'm going to check comments.
Can I talk while you're checking the comments? Can I talk about the question? Making it's the little achievements, it's the little things that you have to celebrate, the little wins.
Yeah.
Do you have any examples of little wins? What's your first little win?
Well,
doesn't have to be. It's not about the money. Sometimes
it isn't. No,
the money happens because you're true. You listen to your true voice.
I think that's one of the things for me was, I think, realizing. I mean, this isn't a small win. This is a really big win. Realizing that I can control my brain. And turn it around, and that learning that, and also how I react to things. And I'm working on this every day, just how you react to situations. If something annoys you, the way you react to things, and the more you just release all that frustration and anger, the happier your life becomes. And I started to really tap into that recently, that you can stop it before it manifests into something horrible. I haven't nailed it all. I still get wound up by people.
It's
usually people that are closest to me.
Yeah, we're all
sorry if you're watching, Mum.
Yeah, sorry. It's the little wins that make the big wins possible. I think the little win for me, was one of the many little wins, was the understanding that I can do it.
Yes.
Like you said, like changing your mindset. I can do it. And now, because I can do it if I want to, so it's my choice, it's like I don't know where I'm going to be in 5 years' time, or 10 years' time, or 20 or 30 or 40. And there is no end. I'm really enjoying the now. And that's the realization. That's like the little win in my mind.
Oh, that's a good win. You're focusing on now.
Because I'm happy, really, truly happy now.
That's an interesting one. And
that's all there is.
Yeah. Because we can make plans, but you're right, we do need to just live in the now.
It's like that unreachable thing. So, being an artist was unreachable for me. I just didn't know what to do. I didn't know what was going wrong. I was trying everything. I was making a load of stuff. I was churning stuff out. I'm not saying that it wasn't good, but I think it had an energy, and it had dynamics, and it had raw, and it had weird, and it had, I landed in some good gigs. I said yes to a lot of things. And I think by doing that helped. But now I've realised that actually it's not about being led by the art. It's being led by your internal system. That you just listen to your own self, and if you're really happy now, you will pick up the pen, you will pick up the paper, you will pick up the clay, and you will really enjoy it. And because you really enjoy it, that speaks volumes. I think that's my realisation.
You just made me realise something. So we get a bit deep when we get together.
Yes.
But I
deep dive, really quite deep.
I was thinking about this earlier. Like since the pandemic happened, I went into taking action mode, and I realised that there was lots of stuff that I wanted to do inside the hub, and there was lots of stuff that I really wanted to do, redo my website, lots and lots of things. Made me kick into action, because that's what happens with me. When something goes into panic mode, I go into action mode.
Yeah, I do. It's weird. It's weird. Maybe it's an ADHD.
It might be an ADHD.
That's like a superpower, hyper-focused thing.
But then I was thinking though earlier, because I do show up and I do take action, and I have got braver and more courageous with what I want to do. And I was thinking about this today, and I really do live in the now. And you just reminded me of that, because I think over time I've seen so many friends lose their lives at a very early age, and my heart goes out for people, who go through really traumatic things. Like, life can be going so well, and then before you know it, something can just happen and your life is tipped upside down. And I think I'm always in the back of my mind conscious of that, just thinking that every day I get up and I can work on something that I want to work on is a gift, to have that freedom in your mind, and to, it's a gift, isn't it, when we can do that, because you just never know when your life is going to be tipped upside down. And we have no control, and this is what I said at the beginning. We've got no control over anything except for our thoughts and the way we react to things. And I think that's been a big lesson, and I'm still learning about that, how, we react to things, to situations that go wrong, to bad things that happen.
It's like that initial knee-jerk reaction. If you're in the now, you allow yourself a little bit of a moment to just stop, breathe, and then respond, and listen to the internal voice that is the truth, or the whatever voice it might be, but not listen to the negative.
So,
well, do listen to the negative. I don't.
So everyone sent in what they've learned over the last couple of weeks.
Awesome.
Abigail's feeling focused. Yes. Amazing. Jennifer, the who was a realization for me. I still haven't figured it out, but realized that I've been marketing to artists. A lot of people do.
Yeah.
Oslam, hello. There's been so many realizations I've had, but fundamentally I've realized that I've not had the get-go or confidence to take that committed step into making a business of my artworks, despite having completed 4-digit commissioned works, 4-digit commissioned work. I realised my mindset was stuck in the you cannot make a living out of your art, not good enough mind frame due to my upbringing, difficult childhood, and now realise it's mind over matter and I can achieve this because you've given me the tools and the confidence to walk on the path I've always wanted to. Thank you. What a lovely message.
Yes, that's a great thing. That's a great thing to do. Who was that?
Oslam.
Well done. Awesome.
Sarah, it was the live session you shared in response to being asked for your why. Your willingness to be so emotionally open and honest means so much. Oh, I deliver wellbeing classes to people with mental health challenges. And I always share my own experience of depression and anxiety with the students because I believe it helps create creative space.
Yep.
It really does. Your biggest takeaway it's giving you the opportunity to step back and see how it feels as a student to see someone be so honest. Oh, that's lovely. I'm going to go back and read that one properly. Thank you for sharing that, Sarah.
Having a mindset and teaching the people about having mental breakdowns or not mental. I don't mean that. I mean mental health issues. Yeah. We all have mental health issues from one level to another. I'm not dismissing those who are really struggling. And at some point we'll all go through something that's really life-changing or alters our way of thinking about ourselves and our environment and our social sort of surroundings. And I think if you can tap into, or not tap into, but if you can have empathy towards another person who has gone through something and really truly listen to them and understand what they're doing, I think I will take off my hat to you. You're doing a great job. Just brilliant. Reveal and be truthful absolutely every time. Thank you for sharing that.
Yvonne says it's been such a fantastic course. It's been an eye-opener. I've learned from these days in the workshops that there's a need to be more structured and goal setting for me in terms of my art. We do lots of that in the club. There is a place for my art out there. I need to find my people, start again. Yay! Richard, you are one brave lady. Thank you, Richard.
She is like a lion.
Andrea says her biggest takeaway is finding her voice. I'm finding my people. Yay! I've written it on my whiteboard now. Find my voice, find my people.
I love shout it.
I need to trademark that. I really do need to trademark that. I've Googled it and no one else says that. Find your voice, find your people.
Yeah.
You're very welcome, because isn't that one of the best things to be able to realise that you've not been on the right path?
And what is your voice? Finding your voice is like, it's so hard.
Yeah, and it's ever evolving, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that was one of the reasons why the 7 Keys were born, because I kept seeing, we could open up a hub and teach you how to use Instagram and how to set up a website, but I kept seeing this time and time again, but if people aren't going down the path that really makes them happy, and I could see artists creating art and I could see that they're not doing that because they like it, and I don't know where this intuition came from, but I could just see people not really being true to themselves, and I think that's what makes this different to any other art course out there, is they don't tackle that part, and it is crucial, and you'll fly when you start to tap into your why and start to really make art that makes you happy. And it's like the fundamental part that we lose sight of, and we lose sight all the time. We visit the why all the time.
How can you be an artist if you don't really understand who you are as a person? You know, and where that voice is coming from? That's massive, isn't it?
Yeah. So Lola says, a belief and confidence in myself. The who and why are eye-openers and realise there's lots to learn. Look forward to being in the hub. Yes. Yeah. I've learned so much. We'll continue to do so inside the hub. You will, Anne. These workshops have really boosted my confidence and belief. Good for you. And you can make your dream and passion a reality. Denise said she'd given up hope of ever earning a decent living with her art. Now she has the hope again. So many things of what you said resonate with me, and I'm starting to see where I went wrong and how I can change that. Oh, amazing.
Can I dig in?
Yes.
I earn so much more now than I ever have being an art design lecturer that I trained to do.
Yeah.
I earn more money and I have all of the time off that I want.
Yeah.
And my own boss. It's just amazing.
And
I'm not saying that teaching wasn't amazing too, but it's completely different.
But also,
I don't know. It's a myth. It's a myth. To not earn money as an artist is a myth.
It is. It's possible.
Absolutely.
And I think sometimes when you are in that mindset where you don't know any other artists and you don't know what's going on, you only see people failing and trying, and it's a struggle, you do start to believe that that's real.
Desperation thing.
But and I've seen people comment in the group saying people don't want to buy art, they don't want to spend money on it. They do. And we're in the world where we're seeing the people that do. You know, there's a potential out there, and I think it's changing that perception that you're seeing the world through by carving out your place. When you start to find your people and people that want to spend money on it, you will start to see worlds that you'd never seen before. And so remember that we do see the world through the eyes that we know, but there's so many more things going on in the world. Like, you just didn't know all the opportunities, you know, that auctioning and there's so many things. Like, did you know you could sell your art this way?
I'm still learning. Do you know, it's the words, but it's actually understanding it as you go along the journey of being an artist. I know this now, and I don't know everything. I only know what I know. As a ceramicist working in a pottery kind of industry, I know that my art is quite unique, so I've got a little bit of an edge on people. I know that I can tap into the sculpture world, the fine art world, and the potter's world without having to live by anyone's rules. I know that I can put whatever price I want onto it, but also know the limit in those worlds. And that's the worlds that I'm in now. So I'm talking art fairs, ceramic art fairs and galleries. I'm in really fantastic, the best commercial gallery in Wales. I'm in the best commercial gallery in Shropshire. And I'm hoping to be in the best commercial gallery in London or in the south somewhere at some point soon, and all the ones in between. What I don't know is about how do I get my work into a museum. So that's what I'm finding out now. So it's an ever evolving change of what you know, and I don't know about museums and
non-commercial
artworks and how to do that and how to what kind of voice I have to have in those artworks. But I'm learning.
Yeah, and it's interesting because, this is something else that we tend to do is look at other artists. Like, you could look at Sharon now thinking, she's in this place, she's got this website. But 3 years ago, she didn't. And she was, going to art fairs, not selling anything. And just because it was the wrong place, wrong price, tweaked things and grew into it, didn't you? It wasn't just overnight. You got represented by one, and then it led to another, and then another, and that's how it happens, isn't it? It grows.
And you can't do it by yourself.
No.
You have to have someone who you trust, who knows what they're doing, to give you that advice. I now paired up with some mentors. So my friends. So I've got a couple of friends that I swap. So they're at a similar kind of stage that I'm at in my art career. And we talk figures, we talk numbers, we talk exhibitions, we give people, we give each other the absolute grueling facts without having to, we just share and we support each other. I can't do it by myself. It's a very lonely place by yourself, and you won't work. It won't work for you if you're by yourself.
No, you need people.
You need someone not your family, not your mum or your dad or your sister, your brother or your closest friends.
I never ask them what they think about your art, honestly.
The rule of
biggest mistakes.
The rule of thumb: if your mum likes it, you're not gonna be successful. That's it in a nutshell. If your friend likes it and goes, "Oh, that's really lovely, I'd like to have that. How much is it? It's £20." No,
they're not your people.
They're not your people.
Yeah.
You have to be in that art, speak the art world, that and use that language, and you have to be told no, that is not the right place for you.
And it's okay to start with family and friends, because it usually starts there. That's where it does start.
Yeah. But you're not here because you want to listen to your family and friends. You're here because you want to listen.
And don't get digressed by their opinions by, oh, I don't think you'll sell that, or I don't think you're going to make a living from that, because they don't know. And it's like they're seeing the world as well. Like I was saying, if you're in a world where you don't see artists making a living, or you don't see people buying art, then you don't believe it. It's like we tend to believe what we can see. And
there's no blame.
No,
they're not to blame. They're just after your well-being, and they just want you to be happy.
Just seeing the world.
They're just seeing the world in their own experience. I guarantee that every single person that's on this feed right now has had the voice given to them. Oh, you'll never make art for a living. Why don't you go and work at? Why don't you subscribe? Why don't you do this instead, or as well as? Because you'll never make any money in art.
Yeah,
you will.
I got told that after my degree. Do you regret doing that degree now? And I just said, no, I don't. And even though I didn't have any money.
How patronising is that?
I know.
God, that's so bad.
Do you regret taking your art degree?
That is so bad.
It is so bad. And it's those kind of comments that fuel the perception that you can never make money from art.
But it's the most important thing to do. Yeah. Making art. We need art. We need drama. We need creative people. We need industry. We need people to design Netflix. So that we can survive in lockdown. We need that.
It is everywhere.
We need those sculptures in the background and those backdrops and those setups, and it's everywhere. We need the furniture and the sofas and the nice patterns and lovely little artistic things.
This one I get messages like this. Lovely Jolene says, the most profound takeaway has been understanding my why. And I do receive a lot of feedback from viewers and owners of my work, and that they find the pieces calming and healing, which I couldn't understand. Just paint on canvas, right? And that's what we all think. And in recent years, I've been on a journey awakening and understanding, being an empath and highly sensitive to energy. Art has been very important to me to heal from domestic abuse, and more so to bring my energy into the balance. Digging in deep to understand my why, I'm realising that I desire to bring beautiful pieces of art into the world for others to find the calm and healing energy in a world of chaos. Been a huge understanding. Oh my gosh, that why my customers have been drawn to purchasing. It's filled my heart with so much gratitude. Thank you so much. Oh, just love us all. What an amazing group we are.
Fantastic. What a fantastic thing.
Janet, sorry, I'm just going to read this. Janet says the Who has been the biggest challenge. I don't think I have it yet, but you have helped me think about more. Yeah, and sometimes, the Who is. Let me try and explain this.
What is the Who?
Sometimes the Who is not so descriptive. It's keywords, or you get an idea of it's people that will be interested in this, and maybe you can't describe them exactly, but it's a starting point, and that sets you off on the journey to go and look for people. And then from there, you probably found this at the beginning, didn't you? That you didn't really understand your people, but you started to think, well, where would it fit? And start to speak to galleries, and then start to speak to people. And then you start to, from there, be led to someone else, and it grows. And I think it's starting, it's that starting point and having a bit of a direction instead of just no idea at all, that actually brings the answers of who your people are. Sometimes you learn by doing. That's what I'm saying.
Good at putting words into the feeling that I have. So I feel that it's a good thing, or it's not. But you put into the words, this is what you do. And that, does that make sense?
I think so.
So I go to a gallery and go, oh, that doesn't feel right. But I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Yes, okay.
Whereas in your course or in the hub, you put down on paper what it actually is that isn't working.
Yeah. So you can learn from it. Yeah.
Whereas I go, I don't really feel that that's quite right. I don't really know what to do about it.
And you don't know why.
I don't know why.
Lots of people don't know why. It's interesting. It's there. The answers are in us.
No, I do.
Not maybe about the who, because sometimes we don't know about the who. The why is in you. You're the only person that can answer your why, and we can help draw that out inside the hub. And the who, I haven't nailed it down. I have a really good idea, and my people tend to be, well, they're you, but they tend to be people who have found art for the first time, or they've either had a break from art and they're returning to art and they'd like to do something with it, or they've been making art for a long time and maybe have sold a few pieces, but they just don't know. And usually my people have blocks, they're getting in their own way. Their mindset is stopping them. They're scared, they're terrified, or it's that they just don't know. They just don't know how to price. They don't know the opportunities out there. And it's taken me a long time to learn that. And so, at the beginning for me, because the 7 Keys works for anything, even setting up an art business like United Art Space.
It does. I tell my mechanic partner.
It works for anything. It really does. A mechanic, florist, anything, builders. So so for me, when I started United Art Space, I didn't really know my who, but I knew that through the why that I wanted it to be global. Like that for me, I was like, it needs to be people from around the world. I really want to bring people together. And at the beginning, it was very broad, people who like to make art. And so it starts there, it starts being quite broad. And then as you learn by doing, and it just starts to, you'll meet someone and then you'll think, okay, these are my people. And it gets narrower and narrower, and you'll learn so much by just making that starting point. So sometimes it's just something that, it could be a hobby, it could be people with hobbies, it could be just something that drives you, like Jolene's just said about the quiet, people searching for, quiet and a release from the chaos. Something very simple like that. It seems so obvious sometimes when we say it and think, and it is usually inside of your why or your what. And so that's what we're going to help you with in the hub anyway. So help you to get that starting point. And if you are struggling with your who, like I said before, it's jumping back to the what and tweaking it so it does appeal to people. But it's exciting because we'll sort all of this out for you inside the hub.
There's quite a few people that that I know start off by doing portraits or pet portraits, or they get a likeness, or they like to paint in oils or paint in acrylics, and they've just swapped over to acrylics or painting in oils and then watercolors. And it's a little bit, I like this. I like this because it's not enough. That I like this because it's just not enough enough of understanding why you like something. And I think
it's all where we start.
So we have to have the starting point.
It's harder than we realise digging into the why. But Sharon's right.
It's digging. You have to dig,
because we're
and
artists.
That's what you do really well.
Because we're artists, we just pick up the stuff and just do it, and we don't really contemplate it that much. And so it's in there and exciting when you do start to draw it out, and knowing and having that belief that I know that the hub is going to draw this out of me. Because we will. You will get there. And it is so fulfilling when you start to understand about your why and what your work is, and you can start to speak about it. It just helps with your confidence and helps you feel happy about what you're doing, helps you to learn how to improve your art as well. So many people have joined the hub and said, by learning more about their why and what they're trying to do, has made them learn what they need to do to improve their art. And Marita's a great example of this.
Yes.
I mean, she joined and she was pretty phenomenal. She's always been phenomenal.
Fantastic.
But her work has just changed direction, and it's from digging into her why. And she just said, it's incredible really to see. So it's exciting. I get so excited.
It's really good. Maybe we get so excited for so many reasons. Is that we really like to see people's success.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what links us. We like to share. It's a big enough world to share.
It is.
There's
there's billions of people. There's enough for everybody.
If there's 3 people in the hub that are all doing portraits, I guarantee that there will all be different portraits. It's not. There's no and or. It's as well as.
It is. Yeah, and
everyone's got their individual voice.
And know that, because sometimes you can see people, you might join them and think, oh, there's someone else doing what I'm doing, and they're just so much better than me, so I might as well give up now, because who's going to buy mine when they see that? And you've got to remember that, it's going back to that, find your voice, find your people, because they'll have different people to you, because they're not you, and people gravitate towards you. because of why you're making art and what you're saying, what you're communicating. And this can create fear in people because they think, well, who's going to like what I make, and I haven't got a story, and all of this is I used to say the same things. I haven't got a story, I'm not interested, I'm not, who's going to be interested in what I've got to say? And you do, everyone has a story, and every artwork has a story as well. Christina says, my biggest takeaway was not to give up on my dream. I'm already a member of the hub, but was lacking confidence to really dig in, and this time I actually engaged much more. Well done you, and started seriously working through the 7 keys. Thank you so much. Looking forward to the party. Yay, she's on. Hello.
This is the party, by the way.
Yeah. And yeah, let us know what you're all drawing and painting and doing. Simone said, finding your people, realizing my why, says Carolyn, about the process and exploration. And now I'm a hubster. Yippee. Anna Maria, I'm really starting to understand the motivation behind my artwork, learning to honor it. Good for you. Lindley, I've learned how similar we all are and how important it is to have a form of social connection. I'm looking forward to being inside the hub. It seems you get out of this process what you're willing to put in. It's so true. It's so true. Chrissy says, I felt alone in my artist block and my inability to get out of the glare and the headlights of fear that held me back. And now I feel like I'm not alone. Now I have a toolkit. You do have a toolkit, yes, and the support to make it happen.
Yes,
you
absolutely.
really do. You
lots
really
and lots
do.
And lots and lots. You would not believe how much support you will get
inside the hub. It's incredible. I said the other day I've created a load of mini-me's because they, the hub members, I haven't opened enrollment to the hub for 6 months. So everyone inside the hub has been working on the 7 keys for at least 6 months. And it's just incredible when I go in and see everyone replying to each other and they just say things exactly how I would say them. And I just think I would have said exactly that comment. And it's lovely to see because when they joined, they wouldn't have. So it's amazing to see them all giving feedback and shows that they're listening.
Taskmaster.
I love it. No, I do love it because people go, oh, and when I do member meetups, we haven't done any because of the pandemic, but I love it because people always swat up on the 7 keys because most people have only done probably 30-40% of the 7 keys because we cover it so much through the lives, and people always feel like they have to admit to me that I haven't actually done the full course yet, Michelle. Like, okay, I'm not going to hit you. I love my members. Oh,
it's there though, isn't it? It's there when you want it.
It is.
Sometimes
just dip in when you need it.
If I'm doing a course, I'll sign up and I'll pay the whole lot because then I'm committed. And then I get all of the downloads and the freebies and everything. It's all inclusive. And then I can work at it in my own time. And I think that maybe that's the magical bit.
It is.
There's no rush and there's no hurry and there's no pace. You work at your own pace.
Yeah.
And if it's not convenient for you because you've got children or you've got a job or you've got something else or different commitments, you can't pick it up for a couple of weeks or a couple of months even. You can just get back in and you can do it in your own time. Yeah, and that's the big realization actually.
It is, and we have a lot of people do that. They dip in, dip out. June dips in and she'll go off she's got a holiday home in France and she goes off on holiday and then comes back.
Yeah. I would be on holiday as well in France if I had a holiday.
Because June does it part-time. There's lots of people.
June, can we all come and stay with you in France, please?
She has offered.
We'll come over. Get tickets quick.
Yeah. Shane says, thank you, great workshops, very excited to become a hub member. Yay. My takeaway would be feeling much more centered and ready to start a special artistic journey. Amazing. It is about the journey. I own a can
I just Shane, the special artistic journey, it's really good. Initially when we start off it's really special, but that special is like an everyday special. When I wake up every day and I think, because I live, breathe, eat, sleep art now. Also, I have a family and I have a partner and I have a house that was split on the market, blah, 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 and all of those commitments that everybody else has. When I wake up, I've got a sketchbook with me. I've got lots of sketchbooks and I eat, breathe, sleep it. And every day is special. So it becomes part of my life. And that's what this whole thing is all about. It's about making the art that you really love into the life that you want to live.
Yeah, it is, and it is about the journey,
and it's real. So, and it never stops. It's like every day is Christmas.
And know that as well. I remember the first time I started to set goals and started to think about how much money I'd like to make, and when you're transitioning from a job,
those days, that was really scary.
Yeah, and it's quite, and you can put yourself under a lot of pressure as well. You know, when you're transitioning, and sometimes you can come from a place of desperation. I'm saying this because I was that person, and I was so desperate for it to work, and rightly so. You know, I have children and bills to pay, and it was frightening. And there's been times where it's been really, really scary, and the fear has taken over. And
I remember those days. Those are really real.
Yeah, it is.
It's not a story. It's a real life. It actually happened to you.
Yeah.
2 young children in the space of 10 months.
Mm.
And a house move. I remember that. And maybe not the support that you needed, because I remember, if I'm honest, I'd think, oh yeah, Michelle's doing the hub, or Michelle's doing this. Yeah, that'll work. I'm hoping that it will.
I did take a risk.
That you were absolutely.
It was a risk, and it was because I believed in it. But it was frightening. I had to do a lot of mindset work. But one thing I will say is, one big thing that I've learned is not to get hung up on the destination and the results, and learn from the mistakes and be open to things not going right, because I've made loads of mistakes along the way, and there have been times where, you know, it was tricky financially, and I didn't give up. And there was a point where people kept saying to me, you really should just go and get a job now. And I was hanging on by this, you know, like, and I was like, I'm not giving up. And I'm so glad that I didn't. But it is about the journey, and knowing that sometimes you feel like maybe you failed, and it isn't failure. That's what I've learned. Everything is a lesson. Every mistake that you make is a lesson. And they're crucial. You have to make them to be able to grow as a person and learn. And that has been a big lesson to me, to not get hung up either on the goals that I create. So if I create a goal, it's to serve me a purpose, to go in a direction. And it's not always about hitting that goal as such. It takes me on the journey, and that's such a great word. And the journey then opens up doors and takes me on a different path. And it might have never been about ending at that destination. And I say this because I remember setting those first goals, and I was devastated when I didn't hit them. I was crying my eyes out. I felt like the world was over. I felt like a failure. And so sometimes if you set goals, you know, don't pin everything on hitting them, because it's about so much more than that. It's about that journey. And actually knowing now, if someone had said to me, but Michelle, if you keep going, you'll be here now, I'd have gone, oh, okay, it's going to be okay. And so just hopefully I just share that in case it helps anyone, because I do remember that goal going, oh God, I can't believe it.
Yeah. There's going to be lots of times. The one thing that I learned from early on is to accept rejection, and just accept rejection from people, from the places that you really want your artwork to be in, from people really not liking your work. I remember there was one point where I had some work in an exhibition, in an art fair, and they had an answering machine message saying how disgusted they were by it, and they weren't expecting that kind of work in that gallery. Or
there's a better way to decline.
Yeah, and they were disgusted. They were actually disgusted by it.
Gosh.
But the owner of the exhibition actually kept it as their answer machine message. But it's also about it's not. You're not going to get everything all at once. It has to be a journey.
Yeah,
it's a journey that you dance with, and it, you know, there's highs and there's lows, and you have to stick with it.
Yeah, you do.
You have to, and that is the long game for me. I'm in it for the long game.
It's so true. It's so true. I just want to give a shout out to Kay. Kay's watching over on YouTube. She says, sorry, it's taken me a while to work through the YouTube and be able to say something on here. Technophobe, no problem. And she's drinking whiskey and coke.
Oh, yes. Whiskey and coke. Cheers. That's what I'm drinking. No, not that I'm, what's the word? Not atoning, but That's maybe a pun in disguise. Atoning with whiskey.
Oh, Susie says she started going live because of these workshops. Amazing. She's done 2 live feeds in the past 2 weeks. Very inspired. Amazing. Go for it.
Keep it
Go
going.
for it.
Do one every week. Just do one every week at the same time. Do it. Warts and all. Just reveal whatever it is that's on your mind and just go for it. Just do it. Because as soon as you can get in the camera and as soon as you get to hear your own voice and know what you look like without going, oh my God, my hair's terrible or not, then you will be much more comfortable about it in front of the camera. That is the way to go, definitely.
Oh, Kay says, I'll be telling the people at uni about the hub. Thank you very much.
Yay.
Carol says, I'm scared of rejection and criticism.
Oh
I live in a world, in a such highly critical world. Well, now you've got this community, and I think that when you are around critical people, having a community like this is so important, because when you do get that criticism and the rejection, I've talked about this before, like the bucket of confidence that we feel, this imaginary bucket, that when someone says something about your work, it fills up, and then you sell something and it fills up, and there's always a hole at the bottom, always a hole, and someone will always say something or something will go wrong, and then the confidence starts to seep out the bottom, and it's a constant filling it up, emptying, and that it will be like that for the rest of our lives. You know, we don't just suddenly become confident and then that's it. It stays with us. It constantly gets hit. When something doesn't go quite right, we doubt ourselves, and that is just so natural. So I think being in a community like this, and this is why the hub works so well, when we do have those doubts, it happened this week to Hannah. Hannah had it was like a show or something, and she usually does really well, and because of the pandemic didn't, and it really hit her confidence. She said, I just feel so deflated. And you know what, it was amazing. Everyone in the hub just came in, gave her feedback. You know, everyone was supporting her, telling her to, you know, it's going to be okay. And within an hour she went, yeah, I feel great now, thank you so much, because they filled up her confidence bucket. And you need to hear it sometimes to get the perspective back again, or to just get grounded, or to just feed that part of you again, to think I can do it. And so surrounding yourself with people who really support you and give you that, you know, that support.
I think you nailed it. There's that analogy of having a place of safety that you can voice.
Okay.
So the hub for me is a place of safety that I can go to. And I'm the kind of person that will just be on the back burner, just watching things first. Checking out the safety. Who's my tribe, you know, or who are the people that I don't like, and who are the people that I do like, or drawn to or not drawn to. And I wouldn't have a voice initially. That would be my sort of setup, if you like, my barriers, my armor, my self-protection, or whatever. And I think for me, to be in the hub is it's really safe. It's really safe to talk about. I feel like I've just failed because I haven't got the gallery that I really want, and they hate my work. And I'm on the floor and I don't know how to pick myself up. Please help me. You know, kind of conversations. And that's what the hub is as well. It's not just about learning through the key ingredients that you give. It's about the fact that you're one voice in it, and there's loads of other people in there that are on the same journey. It's amazing. And that to me is all about having the classroom, you know. So I see it as the hub is the classroom, and it's a safe place to voice your concerns. It's to voice your insecurities and your questions, and to not feel like you're asking the wrong question and thinking that you're stupid, or all those negative voices in your head. I think that applies as well to the ability levels, because we've got beginners and then we've got more advanced. But I think because we understand inside the hub that we are all there to find our own voices, and we all have this real nice appreciation that we've all been beginners once or twice, and we're all learning, no matter what level we're at. And we are all on a learning journey, and we're all there finding our own voice. And so that becomes interesting for all of us, and we have this appreciation that
that's what we're all doing. So I don't think, then there's some groups that would be judgmental on, oh gosh, you haven't done it like this, but our
We
group
all know
isn't
those
like
groups as
that.
well.
Yeah.
We've all had that experience.
Yeah, where they start to jump in and you can't make art like that. And
No.
it's like, well, yes, I
It
can.
There was one. I've got a story.
Because, go on.
Can I say
Yeah.
a story? Thanks. I'm good at stories. Or not. I'm not good at stories. There was one group that I joined because I was really interested in glazing. I have no idea about glazing. Compared to some, I have a lot of knowledge about glazing. Compared to others, I have no idea about glazing. So I thought, I'm going to just expand my knowledge and broaden my horizons about glazes, because I know about clay, just about. I know about figures, just about. This is my insecurities. I feel I'm a successful artist in terms of I sell in commercial galleries well, and I earn lots of money, not lots, but lots to compare to some, but not to others. Yeah. It's all a comparison kind of, journey that I'm on. For me, I'm living the dream, and I'm grateful for that. Thank you. Getting back to the story, I joined this group on Facebook thinking that I could learn about natural glazes and how to source specific things. Where do I get the rocks from? We live in Shropshire. It's a fantastic, unique place in terms of geology. So I wanted to know a little bit more about it and how I can turn them into digging up the clay, putting the oxides on the clay, and using the limestone, and how do I grind the limestone down. And I just said, hi, I'm Sharon, and thank you for accepting me in this group. The usual kind of thank you very much for accepting me into this group.
Yeah.
I'd like to learn. And the first comment was, we're not here to teach you.
That's a nice welcome.
And I go, oh, thanks for that. Thanks for your help. I'll look elsewhere then, shall I? But then, it turns out that actually other people in the group were saying, well, that's not a very nice welcome. You should, maybe do this. I was after a really nice matte white glaze, and I needed a starting point.
Yeah.
We've all got those, I think we've all got those kind of stories that,
we have.
That people are not going to help you, and people will, and the hope will always help you, because everyone is genuine. And I remember when Michelle, when we first started coming up with this idea of United Art Space, and initially when you did it in a physical sense, I remember the Ironbridge.
It started as a physical art studio, United Art Space did, yeah.
Art space.
Yeah.
And it was a really successful physical art studio space. It was absolutely fantastic. You would not find another art studio like it. And it went. So then you took it online. You brought it online to fit into your ethos and your family, and listen to your, I really need this, this inner voice. And that, I think, comes back to the initial conversation that we had about being genuine.
Yeah.
It's just about being genuine. So if, we come across these Facebook groups and YouTube videos of how to and what to do. This is it in a nutshell. You're going to learn so much.
You are. I'm going to go in now and look for comments in here. If you have any questions for Sharon, by the way, because we have her here right now.
Yeah, I've had 3 whiskeys. I'm on my 3rd whiskey, so make it quick. And we've been going live for,
gosh, yeah, we need to wrap up soon, don't
17
we?
minutes.
Gosh, that has gone so fast. Oh my gosh.
That's 77 minutes. I am good at maths.
Wow.
Whiskey's kicking in. I might start dancing soon as well.
So if you have any questions for Sharon.
Please do. Please give me some questions.
Hi, Vivian. Vivian's on. Oh, Wendy, you've just filled my eyes with tears. This is how I feel right now. Bless you. Cece, nice t-shirt. I know you've got the same one, haven't you?
I like that t-shirt.
This one is from a my program that I'm in called Tribe. It's amazing.
I need one.
The latest seascape will be for a giveaway to celebrate the Instagram success. Oh, Vivian, brilliant. Amazing. There's Vivian. And we can all start following each other as well. My painting has been held back today, waiting for it to dry.
Oh, I love those painting days. I miss painting. I might have to take that up again.
Vivian's painting another seascape, stormy waters, dark skies to celebrate reaching 1,000 followers on Instagram. Amazing, Vivian. Vivian, by the way, can we just give her a big shout out? She's only been painting since May.
What?
Yeah. Just started painting in May.
Vivian, you're amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Tammy joined the hub, very excited but very nervous. I will sabotage myself and screw it up. I'm going to help you as much as I possibly can.
Michelle is a person to help you. She will listen and listen and listen some more, and she will go the distance with you. You will not be sorry.
My ex suggested that I paint soldiers from the First World War as remembrance stuffed cells, but all my work is soft, romantic, calming. He was trying to help. Yeah, they usually are trying to help, and was so insistent it would sell. Why wouldn't I? And he didn't get that I have to start with my what. Yeah, your what and your why. Yeah, people don't understand it.
He's got his own what and why. Maybe he should paint soldiers.
Yeah. Oh, having eureka moments daily. Thank you a zillion times over. Can't wait to take the course. Yay. Oh, yay. Wendy in Trinidad and Tobago. I love it. We've got 2 members now from Trinidad and Tobago. How cool is that?
You know, we've got a Trinidadian in Trinidadian.
Mm-hmm.
Person from Trinidad it was my work colleague who lives in Wellington.
Oh, really?
Which is where we are.
Ian says, isn't this just live art waffle? This is M&S live art waffle.
On Sunday as well.
This is just art waffle. This is M&S live art waffle. Oh gosh, I love that. That made me laugh.
We used to do a live every Thursday.
Oh gosh.
And we used to go on and on and on and on. And we do go on and on afterwards, but actually it's boring.
Sometimes we were talking for 2 hours and then we just but we just had no agenda. There wasn't any and I think there wasn't any, we weren't selling anything, we didn't have the hub. We literally set the virtual art studio up just because we bloody love bringing people together, and that's how it all started. And we used to just turn up every Thursday just chatting. And we did that for a year, and so that's why now when people say, oh, you just want to sell stuff, it's like, well, no, because we've been doing this for a long time.
Do you remember that time, Michelle?
Before we sold anything.
When we used to, I was living in Appledore Gardens, and then you used to go, no, is it safe to come in?
Because of the babies.
The babies gone to bed. And I'm like, yeah, go on in. I've got some chocolate. Would you like a water? Okay. And then we go on and go, hi! It's really fun.
I know, because that was years ago. That was 3 years ago. And how old
our
like babies would have been 2 years old then.
Yeah.
So, Jane's feeling motivated. Go on, Jane. Yes. I've been procrastinating and not getting on with these paintings I've got to do. So you've motivated me to just do it now. Yes.
There's no other time. You just got to do it now. As the moment takes you. Even if it's 3 o'clock in the morning. The other morning I went to bed at 6:30 because I just couldn't sleep. So I didn't.
Romeo's finished a rose sketch. Amazing. Changing the background to a different colour.
Ooh,
awesome. Okay. Stop trying to paint, enjoying the party. Sketching a united art angel.
Oh, I love art angels. I love angels. Anything to do with angels, wings, and all that kind of lovely things.
Oh, awesome. It's just painting with no direction, just playing with brush strokes, colour. It's a bit random, yes. They're all 3. Hi, Stacey. Mm-hmm. Only follow 3 artists that you love on Instagram or Facebook. Don't keep looking at the others. When you find yourself comparing, that's the time to stop. Yes, I agree with that. There's some people that make me feel out of my comfort zone. Sometimes you can get into someone's world and you think, oh my gosh, they're so much better than me. And you've got to remember that, well, I'm me and they're them, and they've got different people. And you've just reminded me of, we are what is it, that quote that we are the result of the 5 people we spend the most time with.
Oh,
and Yeah, and so if you are finding yourself being surrounded with people who are really super negative and telling you that you can't do stuff, it's time to look at the 5 people that you spend most time with. And, you know, the hub, this community can be one place, but it's about, you know, even if it's not a physical person, I surround myself as a person that I follow online who I always tap in and listen to their podcasts and listen to what they have to say. And it fills me up with, you know, the power to be able to do things. And it's important to have 5 people, either physically or people that you look up to in the world, that you can tune into in some way, and have those people as your, you know, the most time that you spend with, because people do rub off on you. They really do.
Perhaps it's also about you can't really keep up genuine relationships with people if you have too many friends. So you have to, you know, generally, I struggle with having the friends that I have, you know, and being genuine and showing up for them. So I suppose it's quite true when you have artists that you follow and go, I want to be like you, or you've been really inspired. Not I want to be like you, but the parts that you like about their work and you're inspired by, maybe that's the key, maybe that's the attraction. So if you could find out what that attraction is, maybe that's evident in a lot of people, a lot of artists.
Yeah.
Does it have to be 3? Just a thought.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, you're right. It's about being genuine and about making connections with other people that you really actually genuinely care about, and really get their art or parts of that art that you feel inspired by. I think that's good. That's a good analogy. I like it.
Angie, we can see you, honey. Yes, saw your comment. Just thought I'd throw it up there. I love this one. Painting my toes.
Painting my toes. I need my toes painting. Catherine, hi.
It's lovely to see you all here. I'm really looking forward to getting in with the hub, joining. Let's put this one on. I wanted to join in January, and I know I'm motivated because I'm sitting here in freezing Melbourne at 5 a.m. Oh my gosh, bless you, Carly, with a cup of peppermint tea. Oh, I love peppermint tea. Yeah. And a notebook, listening and cheering everyone on. Yay!
Carly, I went to bed at 6:30 one morning last week because I couldn't sleep. So 5 a.m. is perfect time. Perfect time. Oh, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, we better wrap up soon. Let's see if there's any questions. Oh my God, we could sit here all night talking. I can't reach my toes. I didn't mean that one. I meant that one.
I can't reach my toes. I can't reach my toes. I can reach my toes with one hip, but the other one just doesn't work anymore because I'm
so many lovely comments in this moment. Yeah. I'm drinking wine. Oh, you can't see us anymore. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, Mary's just joined the hub. Yay.
Mary.
We'll see you. We'll see you on the other side, Mary. We don't usually drink when we're doing lives, but no. we did used to.
This is our party time. We're allowed to.
Yeah, we did used to drink on the Thursday night ones, though, didn't we?
We did, yeah. I did. Did you?
I don't think I did. No. I don't really drink that much.
No, I've stopped drinking so much, actually.
I'm going to try the 5 people, says Kay. Amazing.
Oh, that's why I love my cats. Oh, cats are awesome. Everybody loves cats. Going to try the 5 people.
The articles and stuff, Sharon. Thank you. Has anyone got any questions before we go? So if anyone's watching and would like to join the hub, it shuts in half an hour. Yeah, half an hour, and then
and then we're going to join again. When you can join again in like 6 months' time or something?
I'm not entirely sure because I've got some. I was saying I've got some projects, so it'll either be the end of the year or January.
Join the hub! It's so good. Why not?
I think most people on here have joined. So what's going to happen is you will get inside the group, the community group, tomorrow. So I'm going to be sitting, going through all the requests and accepting you into the group. You'll get to meet all the current members. And then next week, I say next week, from tomorrow, is Week of Welcome. So there will be live streams on Tuesday, and I will email you those this evening, so you'll be able to see what times I'm live, and I'm going to make sure that you know exactly where to find everything, and you'll know exactly what to start working on inside the Hub membership site. So it's going to be incredible. You're going to go on such an amazing journey, and I will switch my focus now. I disappear into the Hub so I can just concentrate on the Hub members. You know, I like to get stuck in for a good 3 months to make sure that everyone makes progress and ask me questions and get to know everyone. It's going to be so good.
It's going to be really awesome. You're going to love it. It's going to be the journey of your life. Really.
Leslie says, my friend has joined too. We are going to share the experience together. What a great idea.
That's really awesome.
We've had a chat during the party too.
Yay!
What is the cost to join the Hub, says James. Okay, so you can pay in dollars or pounds. So in pounds, it's £25 a month, which is a bargain. And you can cancel that at any time. So you're not tied into a contract, or you can sign up for the year and you get 2 months for free. Oh yes, Wendy, thank you. Or I'm just going to pop that on the screen. Save me. Oh, wrong one. Oh, the comments are going too quickly. That's the one. Yeah, or $30 a month, or yeah, $300 a year. When is the welcoming? So you're going to get access to the group tomorrow, and then Tuesday I will be live 3 times, and I will message you the links. And the lives will be the same, so you don't have to watch every single live. I'm going to be doing 3 to accommodate the different time zones.
Can you catch up on the feeds? Can you catch up on the
replay?
Yep.
Yep.
So you can catch up. If you miss it, you can catch up.
Yep, you can. Yeah. One of my students nudged me to join. I'm so glad I did. Yay, Jane.
Jane, you're going to love it. Honestly, it's going to be brilliant. You're going to learn all those things that I thought that I'd know right at the beginning.
It is amazing. It is amazing value. And of course, I know I'm saying that. Of course, I'm going to say that. But it really, really is. For what you get, for all the course material that you get, and the live support that you get, but also the community as well. It really, really is. It is great value. So
it's just real, and it's honest, and it's genuine, and it's not the experience that I've had when I was trying to look for something like this. It just isn't. It's all. If I'd have known what you were going to teach, I'd have been where I am now 3 years ago. I think, if not more on my journey than I am now. More point on my journey.
Jane's asking, will the workshops from the group be inside the Hub? Yeah, everything will be moved inside the Hub. You've got access to everything in there. Yeah. The lives on Tuesday will be, I will send this in an email, but 11 a.m. This is UK time, 11 a.m., 3 p.m. and 9 p.m. On Tuesday. And I'll also be live again on Thursday to make sure that, once you've had a chance to have a look around and get to know everyone, you might have some questions again on Thursday. So week of welcome next week. And then by the end of next week, you can start to know where to go and what to focus on inside the Hub. And then we'll get into the rhythm of all the things that go on. It can be a little bit overwhelming. There's lots of things that do go on. You don't have to get involved in everything. So but I will explain all of this. I've done a new start here video, by the way, because I did a video and I realised that no one could see what I was actually showing. So I've just updated that this evening and it's gone in now.
Gitana, immigrant adapt to foreign country is my goal. Altruism with gratitude, country and people accept me. Awesome. Welcome to the Hub.
Yay. Yeah, Siobhan's just joined. Amazing.
Awesome.
Well, yeah, it doesn't matter if you missed the workshops, because we will, the 7 Keys course is what you need to get stuck into, because the workshops were me just introducing what the 7 Keys are. The 7 Keys course inside is the actual course that takes you through the whole process that I was talking about, but in a much, not better way, but in a deeper way. So you'll make more progress by actually focusing on the 7 Keys course than you will by doing the workshops, because that's the full thing. So
follow your gut.
Yeah.
Awesome. Right.
Thank you so much. Yes. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. What an amazing little party.
Thank
Raise a
you.
glass. We'll raise one more glass here to the arts of the future. Thank you so much.
Arts to future, art family, health, wealth, and like a celebration every day, I think.
Yes.
It's been grateful. It's been grateful.
We're going to go on such an incredible journey, and I can't wait to see wherever it takes everybody. So thank you so much for taking part in the workshops. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being awesome. And we'll see you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye.